Not all mousepads are created equal, and while this may be the most overlooked part of a PC setup, most of us gamers consider having a good mousepad as important as having a good mouse. But where do you draw the line? How much is too much to spend on something you just slide your mouse around on? Of course I'm talking about the Razer Firefly, Razer's top-of-the-line gaming mousepad. Let's find out if this Firefly shines bright, or is a burned-out dead little bug in the bottom of a jar in a kid's bedroom who forgot to release him back to the wild because he was busy playing CSGO. Too much? Yeah, too much. RGB fever seems to be at its peak since the announcement of RGB keyboards a few years ago. It's now common to find RGB LEDs in most gaming accessories. From mice to case fans, gamers love their LEDs. So why not have them in your mousepad? Is it a bit excessive? Probably, but it sure does look awesome. The newest product in the Chroma series, the Firefly features full 16.8 million color RGB LEDs that wrap around the mousepad. The Razer logo in the top right corner of the mousepad is also illuminated. As we have come to expect from Razer, the LEDs in the Firefly are vibrant and shine brilliantly. Be mindful though, the Firefly doesn't power itself. The Razer Firefly gets its power from the single gold-plated USB connector that comes wrapped in a nice braided cable. Looking at the mousepad, you can see the small box at the top where the cable joins the pad. If I had to make one gripe, it would be to include a small USB hub in this space. It would only make it a few centimeters longer, and then losing that USB slot to your mousepad wouldn't be such a tough pill to swallow. The Razer Firefly is a fairly large mousepad at roughly 14 inches by 10 inches. Now I know what you're probably thinking. That thing's gotta be pretty thick with all those lights crammed into it. I was curious about this as well. I was pleasantly surprised just by how thin the mousepad was. It's roughly about the same thickness as 2/4. The edges are also rounded to make resting your arm on it more comfortable. The surface of the Firefly is quite wonderful. The Razer Firefly features a micro-textured surface for balanced control during intense gaming sessions. The surface feels quite nice to use, especially when using a Razer brand mouse with it, which is what it was specifically designed for. The Razer Firefly comes with a non-slip rubber base, so you won't have to worry about this thing sliding around your desk. The Firefly is controlled via Razer's Synapse 2.0 software, which features a variety of preset lighting options, such as breathing, which makes the mousepad pulse in one or two colors as if inhaling and exhaling; reactive, one of the coolest in my opinion, but also one of the most distracting. Reactive causes the mousepad to pulse when you click your mouse. You can set it to pulse short, medium, or long. Spectrum cycling goes through the color spectrum and can be synced with your other Chroma-enabled devices for a uniformed appearance. It looks quite nice. Next is Wave, the classic Chroma rainbow effect. This can be synced with your other Chroma devices as well. Lastly, we have Static, which just leaves the LEDs on in a single color. If I had to say some negatives about this thing, it's definitely a bummer to lose your USB slot to a mousepad, and I would have liked to have seen a USB pass-through or hub integrated into the large casing at the top. Cost is another issue. At $60, it's a bit steep for a mousepad. And lastly, the surface, while absolutely great for Razer mice, may not perform as well on other brand mice. There's no denying the coolness of the Razer Firefly. Overall, this is a phenomenal mousepad. The LEDs perform wonderfully, the surface provides the perfect amount of control, and all of this comes in a nice slim profile so you don't have a nasty groove smashed into your wrist when using it for hours. I most definitely recommend it to anyone who loves LED lighting, especially owners of other Chroma products. Even if you don't use a Razer mouse or keyboard, the Razer Firefly is the perfect addition to any RGB enthusiast desk. Let me know what you thought of the video by liking it, make me sob uncontrollably by disliking it, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more content like this in the future. As always, thanks for joining me on the Brain Bean Gaming channel, and may your LEDs never go out.